I've been working on this epidemic for a long time. In fact, I entered medical school right after we discovered this phenomenon of AIDS. Even 10 years ago, when we were working at the World Health Organization to just begin HIV treatment, there was the feeling that there would be no end to the AIDS epidemic. It's extraordinary now that we're actually looking at the possibility of ending the epidemic. You know, the tools we have now are just phenomenal. We can prevent all infections from mothers to children. Treatment has been shown to be effective at a rate that we never would have imagined. There are 8 million people on treatment today. The drugs are getting better and better, and the accessibility to them has been getting better, although there's still work to do. We can end this epidemic. You know, in the history of medical care and health care, there have been very few things that we've actually ended. And to think about where we started back in 1981, when we had no idea what this was, and then during the years that we thought that this was going to be a death sentence for everyone and forever, now actually looking at the end of AIDS is a tremendously exciting possibility. You know, the activists, supported by donors, supported by governments, have taken tremendously courageous action to tackle this epidemic. They've worked on everything from ensuring that there's investment in research to develop new drugs. They've worked then on changing the rules in the Food and Drug Administration to speed the approval of drugs. And then they fought to make sure that the drugs that did become available were available to everyone. Activists, governments, people like President Bush and President Clinton, Kofi Annan, leaders from all over the world have just done an extraordinary job. Now the lesson is, if we can do this for AIDS, why can't we do this for poverty? The lessons from the AIDS epidemic are really quite extraordinary. We've shown that we can move drugs to even the poorest communities. We can keep people on treatment every day for a long period of time. We can build systems that support that response. Those steps are exactly what we need to eradicate poverty from the face of the earth. One of the things we're learning from the AIDS response is that the actual medical aspects of the response are rather limited. The aspects of the response that are most difficult are putting systems into place, making sure that the drugs are there on time, making sure that other medical equipment is there on time, making sure that there are roads and communication facilities and energy. These are things that the World Bank does better than any other international agency in the world. So we feel that we have a huge role to play, as we've learned that AIDS is more than just a medical problem, but really it's a social development problem. It's an economic development problem as well. The World Bank can come in and help build those systems that will protect people not only from the diseases of today, like AIDS, but will also protect people from the diseases of the future.